Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am back with another story time, and the last time I did a story time telling you guys about some of my weird encounters with other beauty creators, I said, would you guys want to see a part 2? You said yes. It's been a minute, you know, it took me some time, but I am here. So if you guys want to know about some more off encounters I've had with other creators, then let's go. Okay, so this is probably my first real taste of how people like to move in this industry, because this is old, like old. I was still working for the Yankees type. Well, actually, I think I was still in college when this happened, but I say that because I was at work and I received an email to my business email, and it was a creator basically pitching an idea for a collaboration. You guys know YouTubers especially like collaborating with each other, either in person in one video, or you know, like they'll each post a video in person on their own platforms, or it's one of those, you know, like I'll film my video, you film your video, and then in the video mention that it's a collaboration with this person, and then tell your subscribers to go watch that video if they want to see more, right? That type of thing. And it wasn't going to be an in-person type of collaboration. So they had pitched me, I kid you guys not, a whole PowerPoint presentation on why we should collaborate with each other, like PowerPoint, like slides, whole reasons, introducing themselves, giving their own analytics. Like, you would have thought I was a brand. Giving their own analytics, showing their own videos and how many views their videos get, all this stuff. They came up with the idea of the video, like, hey, you know, we should collaborate on this type of video, and all everything was pretty much set out. All I had to do was accept this invitation to collaborate. And I want to say at the time I probably had 50,000 subscribers. I definitely didn't have like anywhere near 100,000, but I want to say I didn't have any less than 50,000 subscribers, because I feel like they wouldn't have approached me with the idea if I had less than 50,000 subscribers. You'll know why. So, you know, I can say at the time, like, I just knew that creator in passing. Like, I had seen their videos on the recommended page and stuff like that, but I was not a subscriber to this person. But I read the PowerPoint, I checked out their videos, they seemed cool, so I was like, okay, yeah, sure, you know, this is back when, you know, your girl was still naive, right? She still believed in that whole, like, networking thing with people. So I was like, okay, sure, cool. Like I said, they pretty much planned the whole thing out. So I was like, all I have to do is film my video, say it's a collaboration with this person, and we're good to go, right? So set everything up, make a day for the post to go up. And now we're 2 days before our collaboration is supposed to go up. I had already had my video filmed, because back at that time I was like somewhat consistent, I guess you could say, but also I was in college, so it's like I had to be pretty precise with everything that I do. So I already had the video filmed, ready to go. So it's 2 days before the collaboration is supposed to go live, and I get online, and the creator that I'm collaborating with, they are going at it with a mega influencer. If you guys don't know, influencers, when it comes to brands working with influencers, they break them up into the categories of like nano, micro influencer, and mega influencer. So nano, small creator; micro influencer, you know, like the influencers who float in the middle there; and then mega, like those top dogs, you know, those, like, I think some people consider it like 1 million followers and up. Some people consider it like 750,000 and up, but like those big dogs. Ow. We just started the video. Those are the big dogs, right? So I get online, and mind you, at the time this person probably had like 40,000 subscribers, somewhere around there, and they are going at it with a mega influencer. So imagine that, you know, someone who's got like somewhere in the 40,000 subscribers arguing with someone who at the time probably had 800,000 or 900,000 subscribers on the internet. So again, you know, like, networking is supposed to be my friend, my colleague, right? So I messaged them like, hey, you know, I see what's going on. I'm sure that's not something that's easy to handle, easy to deal with, you know, if you need to talk about it, or just checking in, seeing if you're okay, all that stuff, you know, when you're checking in on someone to see if they're okay. That message goes completely unanswered, and it was like, okay, well, I tried, so, you know, I'm gonna go about my business. So the next day, that's the day that the collaboration is supposed to go live. And, you know, when you collaborate with someone, like, you talk to them that day, and you're like, hey, you know, like, you good for 5 p.m.? What time is it going live? Because you want it to go live at the same time, all that stuff, right? So I'm messaging them like, you know, you good, you this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, completely unanswered. Did not say anything to me whatsoever any of these times when I messaged them, right? So I'm online and I see that the person I was supposed to be collaborating with has posted a video, but it's not the collaboration video that we were supposed to be posting together at the same time, right? They posted a video on the drama that they had going on with the mega influencer, right? I'm like, oh, okay, it's starting to kick in now, you know, like why you haven't answered any of my messages and stuff like that. And it kicks in even more when I am scrolling online and I see them talking to other people, because they were online, like replying to people, still kind of, you know, like throwing shade and stuff like that. They just weren't answering me. And I see them say that they had pretty much spent like all day filming the video that they posted about the drama with the mega influencer. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what it feels like to be ghosted. Okay, so I was like, you know what, it is what it is. Like, it's not, you know, it wasn't killing me not collaborating with anyone beforehand. It's not gonna start today. So all I did, because I had the video pre-filmed, all I did was go into my editor, remove the part of the video that said that it was a collaboration with someone, and then I just uploaded the video like I was supposed to on my channel that day. But yeah, I know, and it's not even like a, you know, well, maybe they were just preoccupied with the drama that they had going on that moment. When I tell you, like, that person never spoke to me again, I mean, never spoke to me again, because it did kind of pop off for them, you know, that wave of jumping on that moment and, you know, making the video and beefing with this person. It did kind of take off for them. So like they were getting like 5,000 subscribers a day, all this stuff, right? So they never spoke to me again. Never posted the collab video. You know, even if they did do the same thing that I did and remove the part saying it's collab, they never even posted that video themselves. So I was just like, okay, well, you know, it is what it is. I guess it worked out for you in the end at that time. So, you know, no hard feelings. So moving on, speaking of mega influencers, you know, there aren't many like big beauty events here in New York. So I try to go to, you know, the ones that like seem like they'll be the most interesting ones. So there was one out here in New York, and my manager was here at the time, and my friend wanted to go because, you know, like this is one of those type of events that's also open to the public. It wasn't like, you know, a closed beauty type of event. So they wanted to go, so I was like, okay, cool, I'll go. I was at the event. It was kind of, you know, not well planned out. So I was just kind of floating around the event, right? And then I see this mega influencer and I'm like, hey, aren't you Jessica, whatever? I kid you guys not. I was like, hey, aren't you? She looked at me, she said, oh, okay. She said, it's the neck for me. That thing was rolling when she went about her business. Like, she didn't look me directly in the eye when I said it. And you could say, you know, you could say, well, maybe she didn't hear you. You know, maybe you thought she looked directly at you and then looked away, but, you know, like, she had stuff on her mind, she was having a bad day and stuff like that. But I met her twice. Okay, I've met this person twice before. So that was the second time that I've been in the same presence as this girl. The first time, actually, I was in LA at a different event, and, you know, she's a mega influencer, and she was actually at that event with 2 other mega influencers. So it's 3 of them. I'm pretty sure they arrived together. So it's 3 of them, and the 2 other mega influencers I met, super sweet, like super nice, like offering out hugs, stuff like that. Super duper nice. They're talking like, hey, hi, nice to meet you, all this stuff, because like I had known them from the internet, like never met them in person before, stuff like that, right? And then she's standing there, and like the whole time that little interaction's going on, she's standing there like I can't. Like, you come across this type of energy a lot at these events where it's, I don't know how you explain it, but it's kind of like a standoffish, like, I really don't want to talk to you, like, stay where, no, don't approach me type of thing. But at the same time of having like this standoffish, I don't want to meet you type of vibe, they're also giving like a almost offended type of like, who do you think you are to not be approaching me and not be trying to introduce yourself to me? Like, at the same time of giving off this energy of like not wanting to meet you, they'll give you this type of vibe of like a, why aren't you trying to meet me type of thing. And it's like, that is not the vibe to have with me, because half the time, like, I don't even be knowing half the people at these events, and I'm certainly not trying to approach these people at these events. For one story, which I won't tell in this one, but if I ever do a part 3, maybe I'll tell it that day. It's just, it'll be very easy to tell who that person is, and I'm just trying to figure out if I want to open that can of worms. But that was the first time that I had met her. So again, this is why you don't approach people, or why you don't, you know, point people out at these type of events, because looked right at me and kept it pushing. But I can say, like, I technically, if we're trying to look for like the positive in this story, I haven't spoken words to this girl. So I don't know, you know, maybe she just had 2 bad days in a row. Who knows? But yeah, that was my second time meeting, Jessica. Even brand employees be acting up at these events. It was BeautyCon, yes? Yeah, it was BeautyCon. I should probably explain. So BeautyCon, Gen Beauty, IMATS, they are conventions for, you know, makeup lovers. Just like they have like Comic-Con, DragCon, stuff like that. They have these type of conventions for makeup lovers, where brands will buy a booth at the convention and, you know, post up their products so that they can sell products, introduce people to products, and it's open to the public. Like, the public can buy a ticket, you'll usually leave with a goodie bag, that type of stuff, right? But creators like going to these type of events because the brands will have brand employees there, and it's usually like their PR employees. So creators like going to these type of things because they like going up to meet the PR people that they're usually talking to behind the screen in person, you know. And if they're not on a PR list, they like going to these type of events so they can go meet them in person and try to, you know, get on the list, get some sponsorship, stuff like that, right? So again, it's like a thing with like hundreds of people there. You usually want to have at least like one person that you know so you can walk around, right? So I was going to that convention with an influencer friend, Jamie, if you're watching this, like, I feel like you know that it's you. So we're walking around the convention and Jamie says, hey, I want to go to this brand. You want to go talk to a brand, talk to the PR person, stuff like that, right? I wasn't really interested in that brand, but again, we're there together, so I'm like, okay, cool, you know, I'm gonna wing woman it, right? So we go up to the booth, and usually you ask for the PR person. The PR person comes over, and he's like, hey, you know, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, she starts talking, you know, I'm giving my little input here and there in the conversation. But like I said, like, I really didn't care about meeting the PR person from this brand. And, you know, like, that intuition, it just be hitting you, okay? So they're talking, conversations going on, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The brand employee, okay, the PR person for the brand, says, hey, what's your guys' Instagram, you know? So she pulls up her Instagram, you know, on his phone. So, you know, hand his phone over with Instagram open, like, type in your Instagram accounts, right? So she types hers in, he looks at hers, oh, love your pictures, yes, blah, 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 hands his phone over to me, oh, love you, that is fine, that is this, whatever, blah, 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 right? Follows us both right there in the moment. So, you know, of course, you pull out your phone and follow that person back, right? Networking in this industry. Now you've got that connection, right? So conversation ends, you know, she and I go around to whatever booths left to go around to, and then you guys know, like, I don't live in the city, so at some point, you know, it's time for me to go. So you know, I say goodbye to her, and I head back to the train, right? I'm on the train. I haven't made it home yet. I'm on the train, and I'm, for some reason, you know, well, I'm on the train. I'm going through my Instagram account, right? And because I had met other people there, I had met other creators, I had met other brand PR people, so I'm going through the notification wall on Instagram. For some reason, I click on the profile of the PR person that I had just met with Jamie, and he had already unfollowed. I didn't even make it home before he unfollowed. And my thing is, like, tell me what the point of that is. Like, tell me what the point, especially when you asked for my account. Like, you, like, hey, type your name into my phone so I can unfollow you 5 minutes later. Like, make it make sense, somebody. And I've got one more story that kind of like piggybacks off that one and just let you guys know just how weirdly people in this industry like to move, and how unnecessarily weird people in this industry love to move. But before I tell that one, let me tell you one more like weird employee type of encounter. So this is another event in the city. It's like a penthouse, like small penthouse type of event. I'm there with my best friend. My best friend is who I bring to like most of these events or like any meetings that I have with brands. I like telling them that she's my assistant. That's how I get that like extra +1. But like, hey, let me bring my assistant when, you know, really she's my best friend. So it was me, her. I had met a couple other influencers while I was there. You know, we're just chatting and stuff like that. And what happens at these events are brand employees, they walk the room, you know, they ask you what you think about the product, your thoughts. They try to get to know you. Again, you know, networking, stuff like that, right? So the brand employee comes over and she's looking at me, she's talking to me, and she's like, hey, who'd she call me? Was it Andrea? Yeah, I've been called Andrea Renee before. It's not a shocking thing when these employees call you by the wrong name. Was it Shayla? Yeah, which I guess I can kind of see Shayla, Shanine, but makeup Shayla and I look nothing alike. She was like, Shayla, and I was like, oh no. And here's what makes it weird. She called me the wrong name, wrong influencer. And I said no, right? She goes, are you sure? Yeah. I think I would know if my name was Shayla. I was like, yeah, we've met before. Yes, we actually have met before, but I promise you, my name is not Shayla. So after that weird little moment there of her asking me if I'm sure I am who I say I am, I was like, yeah, no, I'm Shanine from Too Much Mouth. And she goes, yeah, I love your content. You guys don't know how many type of like interactions I've had with someone who's like telling you that they love how many pitches, how many emails, love your content, love your video, just watched your last video of this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then they call you Jackie Ina. And it was like two different, but you love. Anyway, so back to more weird influencers encounters. Back to more weird influencer encounters. Let me not say weird influencers. But this is at another event. I think this was a La Roche-Posay event. And again, it's at a certain time of the day. Actually, like with a lot of events, I don't even like going to them if they're at a certain time. Again, because of the whole train thing. And what happens with the train here is that at a certain time, it stops running the same way. So like it stops running like every hour. Now it might be running every 2 hours. Sometimes it's been like 4 hours, or sometimes it just stops running to certain stops. And I'm not trying to get stuck in the city. So if your event's at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., I'm not going. I'm not taking that chance of getting stuck out in the city. So I usually like going to day events, and even then, like I keep track of the train and keep track of the time so I don't get stuck out there, right? So, and brands are usually okay with that. Like I'll just go tell them like, hey, thanks for having me, but you know, I'm just letting you know I'm gonna have to leave a little earlier before the event finishes because I have to catch the train. And it's New York, so they're usually understanding with that. Like I don't really have anyone who gives me a problem. So I'm at the event, and that time comes where, you know, I gotta make my exit. I got a train to catch. So I go over to the brand employee and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm gonna head out. And she's like, hey, let me give you a goodie bag. She gives me the goodie bag, and I start making my way to the elevator. So I make my way to the elevator, and there's a girl who's already waiting for the elevator. Let's call her Mary. Here's the thing. To this day, I don't actually know this girl's, I don't remember this girl's name, and you'll understand why I don't remember her name. And the thing is, I don't use real names in my story times, but I might actually be giving her real name because I'm thinking like the name Mary keeps popping out at me when I think about this girl, and I'm like, is that me actually remembering what her name is? And her name is actually Mary. I'm gonna use the name. I mean, there are plenty of Marys in this industry, so if I do use her real name, oh well. I highly doubt like anyone will be able to find who she is just off this story. So Mary's already standing there at the elevator, and you know, she looks over me and she's like, oh, I'm so ready to get out of here. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got a train to catch, stuff like that. So I'm, you know, that little banter, you know, that little small talk with someone just waiting at the elevator, because it's like no one wants to speak to someone and that person doesn't answer them, right? So I'm just giving like that little, oh yeah, you know, train to catch, stuff like that, right? So the elevator doors open and we both walk in, and she's standing over here I'm standing over here and we're waiting for the elevator doors to close. So there's like a little moment of silence after we walk onto the elevator, and she goes, "So, Instagram?" That's literally what she's, Instagram. And again, like the BeautyCon brand employee, the whole like handing your phone out and saying what's your Instagram name, so you type it into the person's phone so they can follow you. Like, you see how at this point she doesn't even know what my name is. I don't know what her name is. So I'm like, oh, yeah. Again, like, you also don't want to be that person who hands your phone out to someone to put their Instagram name in and they're like, no thank you, which actually, after some of the interactions that I've had, I should probably start doing with people. But anyway, so she says that and I'm like, oh yeah, sure. So I type in my name, and then, you know, of course I have my phone in my hand, so she follows on her phone and then I follow back on my phone, right? And then again, like that little banter between the time of the elevator ride, because like this was the top floor type of thing. So this little small talk, chit chat while we're going down the elevator. Elevator door elevator door opens, she walks out first, and then I'm walking out behind her because we're both leaving. And so it's, get off the elevator and it's like this long hallway to make your exit through the front door. So she's in front of me, I'm behind her. I look up and, you know, she's on her phone, whatever. From the elevator ride to the front door, I look up and she literally hits unfollow on Instagram. You know, on my page, how she just followed me, she literally hits unfollow and then keeps walking out of the door, right? And I'm like, make it make sense. What is the point? I get what the point is. And you know, the thing is, I get what the point is. The point is followers by any means necessary, right? Listen, I need that number next to my name, so I'm gonna follow you. You follow me back, and then when you're not paying, usually though, when you're not paying attention, I'm gonna unfollow. I'm gonna do this for follow. I'm gonna do, like, I get it, but is it ever really that deep? Like, is it, and not even like waiting until I'm not around you anymore to unfollow. So it's, again, it's not that big of a deal. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I still had my phone in my hand. I just hit unfollow right back. And it's like, so like, what did we gain? What did we gain from this little cat and mouse situation that we just had here? And then we're both standing outside waiting for our Ubers. Again, New York City. So she's standing on this side of the front door and I'm standing on this side of the front door. No words are being spoken, like at all. No words are spoken between like two people who just had like a little small chat in the elevator whatsoever. I'm not sure if she was aware that I had already unfollowed or if it was just like a, you know, like kind of like a swipe or no swiping thing. And it's like, I already swiped it. I got what I needed. Peace out. So it's like she had no point to talk to me anymore because she got what she wanted. So we're just standing there in silence, and her Uber actually ends up showing up before mine does. So she walks down the steps to get into the Uber, and before she actually like gets in and shuts the door, she does like a turnaround type of thing. It's not even like a wave goodbye, but just like a acknowledgement, I guess, that she's leaving. And the thing is, sometimes my facial expression speaks before my mouth does. So even if my mouth wanted to just to be polite, and you know, you guys know, like, I don't like confrontation or attention or stuff like that. So even if my mouth wanted to say like, oh, okay, bye type of thing, my face was just kind of like a, okay. So that is why I don't remember her name, and I think my brain is picking the name Mary because it's remembering from the few seconds that I was on her Instagram page. If it is, you know, oh well. It's a very common name, and I highly doubt she'll ever come across this video. Something tells me she's one of the creators who is not really out here checking for other people's content. On to another beauty event. This one is Gen Beauty. It's just like BeautyCon, but Gen Beauty has a creator day the day before. So Gen Beauty, the event, is open to the public. Anyone can buy a ticket, anyone can go. But creator day is invite only. You know, they have it so you can network with other creators, and also so you can get to meet the brands that are going to be at Gen Beauty a day before, again, to, you know, pass out your info, talk about PR, talk about all that stuff, right? But they also have these little like panels and mini sessions and stuff like that that you can sign up for, you can attend, you can get to do cool stuff like that. So I signed up for one of them, and it was starting, so everyone starts filing into the room, and like, imagine a high school or college, or a high school college like science lab set up. Like imagine that with the tables, like the long rectangular type tables. And I want to say 5 people are seated there, because like here, I really need to describe this well for you guys to understand. Just bizarre. But anyway, so here's the table. I'm sitting here at the end of the table. The girl that this story is about is sitting right here. Let's call her Courtney. She's sitting here. There's a girl sitting on the end of the table. There's someone sitting directly across from Courtney, and then there's someone sitting directly across from me. That's why I'm saying 5 people at the table. So there's no one sitting on this end of the table here next to me, right? So, okay, so sitting here at the table, I'm sitting on the end. Here is the end of the table. This is me sitting right here, and my bag is right here next to me on the floor, tucked under the table. Okay, so end of the table, here's my bag under the table. So going through with the little experiment that we were there for that session for, all that stuff, you know, talking, all that blah, 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 right? So out of my like peripheral, I see, Courtney? I see Courtney go over my legs to throw something into the trash can that's on the end of the table. So again, here's the end of the table, here's my bag tucked under the table, and then here's a trash can on this side of the end of the table, right? So I see her go over my legs, throw something into the trash can. Okay, like that has nothing to do with me. So I just kept going about my business with the little experiment that we were doing, whatever, right? Next thing I know, I hear, no one threw anything into your bag, all right, relax. And I was like, who is she talking to? No, like in real life, I started going, who is she talking to? Because I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Words didn't come out of my mouth. Like, relax, no one threw anything into your bag. I didn't say anyone did. So after looking around trying to figure out, like, did I miss something? Like, that's how in my own little world, like in my own little bubble, I was like, did I miss something? Like, what's going on? Looking at her, but she's looking directly at me with that same like, yeah, I said it to you type of face. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think you did throw anything into, like, trust me, boo-boo kitty, if I thought you threw trash into my purse, I wouldn't need you to be the first person to say something. You're gonna pick that. You know what? And like, it just be getting under your skin, because like, yeah, you're not bothering anyone. Like, yes, I saw it. It's kind of hard to not see someone's arm going over you to throw something away. And when you think about it, it actually is kind of rude, because like, what if it did get into my bag? Like, what if you somehow missed and what you were throwing away landed on me? Like, you just get up and walk the 2 feet over to throw it away. But I didn't say anything, because like, none of that happened. It made it into the trash can. Like, okay, let's move about our business. So she said that, I was just like, I didn't think it did. And she's like, oh, okay. You know what? So I only have one more story to tell you guys, because my battery's getting ready to die. And it's not, this one, it's weird, but it's like funny weird. Mind you, like none of these stories, like there's no beef. I don't have beef with anyone. I don't care enough to have beef with anyone. They're all just like, you know, just kind of like strange encounters, just like a what the F type of moment encounters. But this one, I was shooting with a company, and you know, like shooting like someone else does your makeup, and like they're taking pictures of you, they're filming you and stuff like that, right? But I was there with an actual like model. I'm pretty sure like that's her job. I don't think she's an influencer. You know, some people like kind of do both. Like they model and they influencer. They sing and they influence. But I don't think I don't know if she would call herself a creator or an influencer. I think like she's a model, like that's her thing, right? But she was shorter than me. I'm pretty sure like commercial model. And so she had to stand on a platform type thing so that we're the same height in the pictures, because you know, it's those type of pictures where it's like you guys have to be really close, you know, like those type of face touching pictures, hands behind each other's backs, like that's how close you are. So keep this in mind. That's how close we are, okay? We're taking the pictures together, all that stuff, right? So they pause in between taking pictures of us, but like you're not supposed to move. Like stay in that position while they check the little cameras. So, and then they'll go right back into taking pictures. So don't break that pose type of thing. So we're this close to each other, like faces this close. and she said she was eating while the makeup artist was doing my makeup. And you know, you have like call times when you need to be on set. So I don't know if she was rushed while she was eating to, you know, come take these pictures, but we're this close to each other. And she says, "Hey, does my breath smell like onions?" And it's like, I heard it, but I didn't type of, I don't even know like how that happened, but she's like, now here in this moment, I know that's what she said. But in that moment when she said it, I feel like I kind of heard it, but I didn't. So I said, "Huh?" But while I was saying, "Huh," I was turning to look at her to say, "Huh," to her. And I don't know if like between my facial expression and it's a weird way of describing it. Basically, while I'm turning to say, "Huh," I'm assuming she thought I already heard her. So I turned my face again. Remember how close we are. Next thing I know, this girl goes, when I tell y'all, she gave me the biggest, like that was a like deep. You had to go deep into it to smell her breath, to see if it smelled like onions. And again, remember how close that we are. She went all in my face as I'm turning to her to say, "Huh," to hear what she said. I tell y'all, that was like it was strong, okay? Not even like a strong onion smell, because like had she not said anything and we just went through with the shoot, I wouldn't have, it wasn't strong enough for me to notice, as close as we are, that her breath smelled like onions. But because of how strong of a breath that was, that's how I smelled the onions. But the breath itself was just strong, like knock a bitch out type strong. Like that's how strong that it was. And especially with how close our faces were, and like just thinking back on it, imagine now with Corona, imagine that strong of a in your face now with everything going on with coronavirus. So I hope, I thought I played it off well, but I don't think she thought I played it, because mind you, I was like, "Oh no, you're fine," right? But I don't think she believed me when I said that, because I saw her again like a year later, this time a completely different like state. I saw her again at a different shoot, and like her attitude was completely different than the first time I met her. The first time I met her, like before the breath interaction, she was really talkative, like really, you know, she was telling me about this and telling me about that. And then when I saw her again like a year later, like she did not want to speak to me whatsoever. I hope I didn't like, I don't want to offend anyone, but it just caught me off guard because you know, one, how strong it was, and two, that like I was turning to hear what she said, and you know, she just went full force with what she was already saying. So again, if she happens to come across this video, like I hope I didn't offend you. That wasn't my intention. That was just my quick reaction to the situation that happened, and it didn't smell badly of onion. It just smelled like onion because that's what you were eating beforehand. I doubt she'll see this video, but if she does, and if she does feel some type of way because of, you know, how she acted after that, then, you know, my apologies. So that is it for this video. Those are some more weird encounters I've had with people in this industry. Let me know if you guys, the fact that I have more is kind of sad, but I do have more. So let me know if you guys would want like a part 3 to this. And yeah, my battery is dying. So let me go ahead and wrap it up then. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn on notification bells, all of that down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.